This is 7 National News, and in our top story, soldiers' sacrifices will be remembered as a source of pride for the country and its wise leadership, as stated by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces. The Crown Prince's comments came when offering condolences to the family of martyr Abdullah Juma Hassan al-Shamsi, who died while taking part in the Arab coalition's Operation Restoring Hope. While consoling the martyr's family, he stressed that UAE citizens are still committed to the legacy and values of their forefathers, thanks to their sacrifices. He praised their patriotism and courage, adding that the soldiers have proved their loyalty to the homeland. He also lauded the support given by families to the soldiers in this critical stage in the history of the region. The Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan Foundation has sent a further 2 relief planes to the Socotra Islands in Yemen. The move is under the directives of the UAE President, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces. The first plane was shipped with electrical equipment and electric generators, and the second was shipped with 15 tons of food items to be distributed to the Yemeni people who are facing a severe shortage of food. An official at the foundation said that the relief aid is a continuation of the sea and air bridge, which was previously announced by the UAE's leadership. The Abu Dhabi Education Council has announced that enrollments for new Emirati students across Abu Dhabi public schools for the 2016-2017 academic school year will start from Sunday, February the 21st until Thursday, March the 17th this year. The announcement came during a press conference held today at ADEC's headquarters, which also revealed that the registration period for non-Emirati students will take place from the 13th to the 17th of March. Mohammed Salem Al-Daheri, the Executive Director of School Operations, said that ADEC adopts an electronic process for enrollments, allowing parents to save time, while also minimising the need to use paper. He added that parents need to visit schools once and register their children using a student's Emirates ID card, which feeds the student data electronically. Children enrolling for kindergarten should not be younger than the age of 4 by December the 31st, 2016, while the registration and requirement for children admission to grade 1 is for 6 to 8-year-olds on the 31st of December 2016. Registration will be processed based on geographical areas and maximum class capacity approved by ADEC. A maximum number of 23 students for KG per class, 25 students for primary classes, and 30 students for secondary education classes. The Crime Scene Investigation Section of Sharjah Police responded to 2,109 reports in 2015, with 64% surrounding theft. Lieutenant Colonel Naji Mohammed Al-Hamadi, the head of the CSI section, made the announcement and also revealed that 0.04% of the reports were for murder. The majority of the reports were from Sharjah City, with 14 reports from the central region of Sharjah and 175 from the eastern region. Lieutenant Colonel Al-Hamadi added that the section also dealt with 6,760 physical pieces of evidence at crime sites and also checked 39,106 individuals through the electronic fingerprint system last year. The section processed around 49,287 crime scene photographs and also referred 1,370 reports to the concerned authorities. It was also revealed that although the average response time to a crime scene was set at 30 minutes by the department last year, the team would reach the scene in 26 minutes. All criminal cases were solved in Sharjah last year, and no criminal cases were recorded against an unidentified person. The Consulate General of India in Dubai is reminding the community that the persons of Indian origin card will not be valid for travel to India after the March the 31st deadline. The consulate is urging all holders of the PIO card to apply for a conversion to an Overseas Citizens of India card by the deadline, adding that applicants who are UAE residents should visit the consulate early to avoid any last-minute rush. They added that it takes around 2 months maximum for the OCI card to arrive from India, but officials have managed an average turnaround time of about 30 days. After the deadline, a visa will be required to travel to India if the passenger does not have an OCI card. And the applicant will have to apply for a new one, which usually costs around 1,020 dirhams. Converting a PIO into an OCI card is free of charge, and only a 6 dirham Indian Community Welfare Fund fee is needed. Applicants whose visas are issued from Abu Dhabi and Al Ain must visit the Embassy of India in Abu Dhabi, while those issued from any other emirate can visit the consulate here in Dubai. The OCI scheme provides a lifetime visa to India. Agricultural experts from the Abu Dhabi Farmers Service Centre revealed the latest technologies used at various farms in Abu Dhabi today and shared their experiences on why using environmentally sustainable farming methods can revolutionise crop production in water-scarce regions. During a technical tour organised to visiting delegates and farming enthusiasts in the capital, agricultural engineers monitoring the farm stated that as the demand for food is expected to grow by 70% by 2050, sustainable farming methods hold the key in supplying adequate food supplies globally. Speaking about the use of hydroponics at one of the 110 farms in Abu Dhabi, experts highlighted that a number of agricultural innovations and cutting-edge technologies, such as greenhouses, net houses, reverse osmosis tanks, and other techniques, are currently being used to produce a variety of vegetables, such as tomatoes, watermelons, squash, and aubergine, all meeting the global GAP certification standards. Explaining how a protected environment has enabled them to grow high-quality vegetables at their farm, agricultural engineers stressed that the aim of the greenhouse technology is to keep the internal temperature at an optimal level, where the temperature can be controlled at a steady 28 degrees. That's the optimal level for year-round growing of crops such as tomatoes and cucumbers. Established in 2009, the Abu Dhabi Farmers Service Centre provides technical and operational support services to farmers, while also helping them in growing and marketing their produce all over the UAE.
Actually, the Farmer Service Center is providing a lot of services for the farm owners. As you have seen, this farm this farm is Global GAP certified. So we provide all the inputs required for Global GAP standards. Like you have seen the pesticide stores in which the pesticides are stored according to the Global GAP standards. And this is a very expensive and the most modern system there. You have seen the pesticide retention system, you have seen the lights and this exhaust system. This is being supplied by Abu Dhabi Farmer Service Center. Okay, and all the records which are being kept for fertilizer, pesticides, agriculture practices. So all these are maintained also by Abu Dhabi Farmer Service Center. This is a very great step. Like you saw there, the hydroponic system. So 70% it is saving the water. So actually the step is towards sustainability. And this, like hydroponic system and Global GAP system, we have safety. Safety for the food, safety for the environment, safety for the workers. So these are the most things for which Abu Dhabi Farmer Services Center is being supporting the farm owners and supplying a lot of things, a lot of supports.
This is hydroponics. Hydro mean water and phonics mean active. This is active water. We are growing plants through water, and the also called soil-less culture. So hydroponics is the technology in which we give ready-made food and ready-made nutrients to the plants according to the formula. For different plants there is different formulas, and at different stage there is different formula. So we are giving the specific amount of micronutrients and macronutrients which is required by plants. There are 42 greenhouses and 15 net houses. In greenhouses we are growing tomatoes, and in net houses we are growing only those plants which don't require cool temperature. For example, squash, we are growing 9 varieties. We are growing eggplants three varieties. We are growing sweet melons and net houses. Only those plants which don't require cold temperature. Those plants which require cold temperature, for example, different varieties of tomato we have there in this farm, we are growing inside greenhouses.
And finally, the UAE's first ever women's car maintenance workshop was rolled out today to help provide basic training to ladies in the case of a breakdown and to help with safety on the roads. The free community workshop was rolled out by auto repair and maintenance specialists Hammerhead and was attended by a group of women, including a mix of stay-at-home mums and business women. The session kicked off with an interactive parking bay session and then continued with vehicle basics, engine bay and undercarriage, as well as what to do in an emergency. Attendees were also shown how to check tyres, as well as other basics such as fluids, electrics, belts and wipers. It was Hammerhead's mission to install confidence within the women through jump-starting their cars, changing tyres, and also knowing when vehicles need an oil change or extra water. It was also noted that although women today have purchasing power, there are still many cases where intelligent women have no idea what to do in the event of an emergency.
Women are brilliant at diagnostics. They are good at multitasking, their sense of smell, visual, feel. So if a steering is vibrating, they can understand that there's something wrong with the tires. It's just that they've traditionally not been ones to learn about the basics. So we're hoping with the workshop, if we can teach some basics, for example, what to look for on a monthly check, or if you pull into a service station, what are the questions you should ask, or if they ask you to change something, to do something, why? Ask the question, why? There has to be a reason for anything that they're suggesting for you to do. We strongly recommend that in the UAE, because of the hot temperature and the oil quality isn't the most optimal here, again because of the heat and everything. So we suggest that you keep your engine cool by putting coolant in your radiator for sure, but don't just go to a station. Again, be informed, check your manual, or otherwise come to a proper diagnostic center where they'll say, yes, your particular car, this particular model, this particular year will use green coolant or red coolant, and get that done for sure.
It's very daunting, and it's like any user manual for anything. It's done legally by lawyers and accountants and things, and I don't think the user manuals are typically user friendly. So this kind of setup where you have a car, I think every person, whether it be male or female, because we address here the ladies, but at the same time the user manuals for men, I've had men that come to me and go, I don't know how to jump start my car because they've never known that. So I think just if we start at school level, which is what Naz was saying, to get into schools, I think that would be amazing. At school level, let teenagers even know that they can help their parents and get the feed through coming from the bottom at grassroots.
Mainly changing tires. I think that was really great because I wouldn't think of doing it by myself. I know it's one of the most simplest things, but I've never tried. I've been stuck, I've had flat tires, I had to call roadside assistance, and I had to get to work. So if I knew how to do it myself, I would have done it and got to work on time and not be late.